Hello, thank you for joining me. I go by SRez, and today we're going to talk about Creatures of Aether upgrades. As you've collected cards, as you played the game a little bit, I'm sure you've noticed that you only need one copy of a card to include that in a deck and to play that card. However, you'll get multiple copies, and those will fill up this bar on the bottom, and when that bar gets full, you have the option to level up a card. So leveling up cards, as you can see from the spreadsheet, takes varying amounts of resources, coins, and copies of the card. When you level up a card, those coins and the copies of the card get consumed. What does leveling up a card do? Leveling up a card just gives it a +1 bonus to all sides. So if we take a look at this card, for example, a level 3 version of this card would have a 4 on the left, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, 2 on the right. Whereas this card that is level 3, if we were to get the final level up for this card, it would then have a 3 on the left, 5 on the top, and 4 on the right side and the bottom side. So those upgrades, these level ups, they transfer into the ranked ladder play. So like when you click play, it will use the deck that you're currently selected on, and it will use these cards at the level that you have them. What is important to note is that, if you want to play a fair and balanced game where both players don't have, one player doesn't have higher level cards than the other, you can go in here and check tournament battle. This is also the format that's used for competitive play, like tournaments. And no matter what level you have the cards at in your inventory or on your account, all the cards will enter the battle and be played at level 1. So let's take a look at these upgrade costs. They do tend to scale quite a bit. Like they get pretty expensive. Rare upgrades always cost twice as many coins as common, epic costs twice as many coins as rare, and legendary costs twice as many coins as epic. The cards don't follow that formula, but as you can see, based on the rewards that you get in the game, I think that this current schema for the upgrade costs is actually quite balanced. Although I do need to fix that. So, these are the costs for upgrading, and really you can do what you will with them, whatever you want. Like if you want to start upgrading all your cards pretty evenly and upgrade things to level 2, go for it. If you have like a specific deck in mind and you have a set of 8 cards, but you really want to level up more, then I'd say go for that and try to get that deck to level 3, level 4 even. What is important to note is a lot of decks, the structure, like a good, well-balanced deck. For example, this one has 5 common cards, 1 rare, 1 epic. That can vary quite a bit, but on average, your average deck will have 3 like rares and epics total. Probably 2 rares, 1 epic, or 2 epics, 1 rare, just because of the power cost. The rares always cost 4 power, epics always cost 5 power. And so you can't really have any more than 3, maybe 4. Like if you had 3 rares right here, that would be 12, and 1 epic would be 17, and then you could have 3 1-cost cards. So you're never really going to have more than 4 of those in a deck, combined rares and epics. So it's important to know that you can a little bit more liberally level up your common cards, whereas I would be a little bit more stingy and choosy when it comes to leveling up your rare, especially your epic cards. My recommendation, depending on how you want to play the game, is that you should probably play around with your cards at level 1. Leveling them up to 2 is fine, as long as you do it with just a handful of cards, not all your cards. And just play around with your card collection. It's fine if you start to accumulate a large bank of resources, like a big coin bank. That's totally fine, because these upgrades do get quite expensive. Take your time, think about it, find decks that you like playing, play test them a little bit, and then once you feel really comfortable that it'll be worth it for a long period of time, go ahead and upgrade that deck of cards. I also have included some of these rewards. So these are some of the things that you can get in the game: Aether chests, rare chests, epic chests, legendary chests. I left out common chests. Common chests do exist both in the shop, sometimes for free, and in dungeons, but I left them out because they mostly give you copies of common cards. They don't really give you coins that's worth noting, and they don't give you any orbs. So Aether chests, they're really important because they always give you 5 orbs. And it's important to know that when you complete the battle pass, you can redeem 10 AP twice a day for a Aether chest. So you can get 2 Aether chests a day for a total of 20 AP. It's 10 AP per chest. And that's after you've completed the whole battle pass. So your, sort of daily grind, you should be getting 10 orbs, and that's after a battle pass. Standard dungeons cost 25 orbs, and elemental dungeons cost 50. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. These rewards here, I'm only talking about coins and orbs. Actual copies of cards, I left that out just to kind of keep this more simple, because in my experience, as you can see by my card collection, getting the coins is a little bit more of a struggle than getting the copies of the cards. I have lots of cards that I'm eligible to upgrade, but I don't have the resources. I don't have the coins. So the battle pass, I did the math here. You can see this kind of gross formula. I did the math and I took averages for the chest. The battle pass in total contains 29 Aether chests, 1 rare chest, 1 epic, and 2 legendary chests. These are the average coin yield for each of these chests, and that's all been factored into the battle pass, as well as the battle passes sort of just static, like gain some gold, as well as orbs. There's like plus 1,000, 500, 10, 500. So I've added all that up, and the average battle pass will give you, again, this is on average, there's quite a few chests in here, so the gold rate is more variable than the orb rate, whereas the orb rate is only barely variable because you get 1 rare chest, 1 epic, 2 legendary chests, and Aether chests always give you 5. So you won't see much variation in this. You probably will see some variation in the amount of coins. But a rival pass will give you about 15,000 coins and about 280 orbs when you complete it. A standard dungeon will give you 2,000, again, this is like average from my experience, it'll give you about 2,000 coins when you complete it. And an elemental dungeon will give you, I went with about 4,000 coins. In reality, I think it's a little bit lower than that. I think it's probably 3,600. And that's simply because of the boss fight, in my opinion. The boss fight gives you a little bit more gold. And the elemental dungeon has 2 floors, but only 1 boss fight. And the standard dungeon has 1 boss fight per floor. So you could expect this number to be a little bit lower, but again, these are averages. So, and the dungeons have an average of 3 orbs because any given dungeon will have 1 chest in it. Could be a common chest, rare chest, or epic chest. The rare chests and epic chests have respectively an average of 2 orbs, and an epic chest has an average of 7.5 orbs. There's also the common chest, which is why in this formula you can see these 2 numbers are added up and then divided by 3. Common chests will never give you any orbs. So, with all that, oh crap. That's it. Okay, we're good. So this gives you kind of an idea of the resources you can expect to gain while playing the game, and the resources it will cost to upgrade your cards. Battle passes, I'm not exactly sure how frequently or how often they will be released. I might update this video later once I know more concretely, but I kind of expect battle passes to be available about every 30 days, or sort of like a once a month kind of thing. And keep in mind, all of the rewards and things that I'm talking about are totally separate from ladder rewards. Ladder rewards, they're actually quite good. There's, in each ladder section, there's 3 card rewards and 2 chest rewards. So that's important to know too, that you'll get coins and orbs, probably most importantly the orbs from here. As dungeons are by far the best way to turn your orbs into coins, as well as gain copies of cards. So hopefully you find this information useful. This just really is a breakdown of what upgrades cost, and sort of what resources you can expect to gain. At the end of the day, you really do want to be finishing your battle pass, and you want to be on these daily reward chests, which will be right here. If you have redeemed them, like I have, they'll be open. If you haven't yet redeemed them, then they're closed, and all you have to do is click them. It'll spend 10 AP, and then you get 5 orbs, some coins, and a couple cards. That's really it. Just know that when you're playing on the ladder, don't get too frustrated by other people having higher level cards. In general, if you can get yourself to have a deck with like all level 2 cards, or probably most importantly, once you're into bronze and silver, if you have a deck that primarily has level 3 cards and maybe a couple level 4 cards, like this one, then you're probably even ahead of the curve. In a lot of cases, that one number, that individual side having a +1, isn't going to make the difference. It's not going to make or break your game or that victory. Most of it comes down to strategy and how you use the game's abilities, as well as the elemental tiles. But it never hurts, and it really does make a difference when you compare level 1 to level 4 cards. So work away at it, upgrade your cards as you can, and as you want to. At the end of the day, this is do what you want sort of game. But know that for the resources that you get and what you'll have in the beginning, I do think it's a good idea to keep a pool of resources until you really know your way around the game. And find a deck that you're comfortable playing with, a deck that you like. If you're not sure about deck building, I will probably upload other videos about that. And feel free to find the Discord channel, Discord server, and then we have a deck discussion channel, and lots of really good players and people that you can ask questions about deck building, find suggestions, and you'll even be able to find decks that previous tournament winners have used and their deck lists that they won tournaments with. So I would say find those resources, get a deck that you really like, playing and are comfortable with, and then start working on upgrading it. Thanks for joining me for this video. That's all I got for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks.